What's up, everybody? No ring light, nothing like that, nothing spectacular. Just this location right now. Anyway, I told you, I told all of you. I've been saying for months and months about this, and now I'm seeing the day, 2 days after, actually the day after Mike Tyson had lost this supposed real fight. Oh, the fight's a scam. The fight's a scam everywhere. But your boy right here been saying this for months now, over half a year, ever since this fight was announced. I said if it took place, I broke down why. I told you all. I said if you're buying this fight, in my last video, my previous video before the fight actually happened, I said whoever's buying this is a bunch of suckers. I get it. I'm happy for Mike Tyson. Of course, you're throwing out $20 million or whatever the fact is. A lot of money, a lot of money being made there, and I'm happy for him that he's making a lot of money. But seriously, I broke it down many times over on this channel about how Mike Tyson looked. And actually, his last fight, you can go back to his late 30s, mid to late 30s. He was gassing out, getting knocked out by bums. So I said, you know, obviously, if it was even a real fight, if it was a real fight, how are you expecting a 58-year-old Mike Tyson? I mean, a cab driver, a weekend boxer could beat him. Really, no joke. You got a guy who's clearly diminished beyond his years. It's pathetic. He's 60 years old. Um, he was struggling back on bums back in the day, and he lost legitimate fights when he was still in his 30s. Again, it's not too hard to figure all this out, but yet a lot of people buy into the hype. They buy into this Jake Paul. They buy into the whole Mike Tyson mystique. They buy into the clickbait, like everything else today. Most of it's fake. The fight was a hoax. Well, okay, it's not a hoax, a scam, allegedly, before the fight actually happened. Do you really think, like I said before the fight happened, do you really think, did you really expect Mike Tyson to go in there and knock out a 20-something-year-old guy when he's already almost 60 years old? Did you really think that this Jake Paul guy was going to actually get some type of ruin his entire game of making money by knocking out and, you know, causing lifelong injury potentially to a man that is almost a senior citizen? Do you really think that that was going to happen? Do you really think? Come on, this is ridiculous. You could seriously get injured in a ring, especially a man almost 68 years old. Sorry, 58 years old, going on 60 soon. It comes quick. 2 years later. What is he, 58 and a half now? But it's just ridiculous. The whole thing was from the jump. It was just a money grab. And for those who didn't see that, I'm sorry you wasted your money. I hope you had a good time for the entertainment factor, but it looks like most of you didn't. It looks like a lot of people are complaining. Oh, it's a scam. Oh, it's this. What were you expecting? You were expecting a 58-year-old Mike Tyson to do what he did to Leon Spinks back in the 80s? Knockout. I don't know, was it the late 80s? I don't know the day. Or even you expected a 1990 version of Mike Tyson to go in here and knock out some bum named Jake Paul, some fighter who's not even, you know, a real special fighter. He's just a average gym type fighter. Really, you put him in there. I mean, it's already been proven versus a real fighter that's actually young, that's actually in his prime, who's a C fighter. Tyson Fury's younger brother, he gets beat, and that's exactly what happened. So here you have a carnival, you have a circus, you have something that was just blown out of proportion. The marketing is done by clever people. It's not too hard when you have a name like Mike Tyson, and people forgot about what Mike Tyson really was when he quit. Sorry, not quit, when he ended his career. Unfortunately, he said back then he couldn't go on. He didn't have it in his heart anymore. He had no problem getting in shape, but that was a 30-something-year-old version of Mike Tyson. Fast forward 2024, it's a joke. You have him fight a guy in his 20s, and some people actually thought somehow this was going to be an amazing, incredible event. No, you're all, you know, if you bought into that, sorry, I didn't spend a penny on the fight, and it's a good thing I didn't, because as soon as I flew where I had to go and I landed, someone picked me up. Did you hear about Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul? Tyson got beat, and I'm like, oh. You know, I wasn't going to be surprised no matter what happened. I gave a few scenarios and theories of what I thought of this fake charade. It's like WWE wrestling. It wouldn't have surprised me any if it was a knockout. It would have been a fake staged knockout where they had a rematch already set up. But you know, we'll see what happens in the future. But this whole thing, like Terrence Crawford, I just skimmed through an article real quick before coming on here. Terrence Crawford basically was dissing the whole thing, of course, because you have a true, real fighters that are young and they're in their prime, and you have a pound for pound legend. You have guys that are active and they see this and they're going to get a little burnt. Some people might say, hey, that's haterade, they're haters. I get it. But you have this kind of, for me, diminishes the sport in a way. It really does. There should be no sanctioning. There should be no allowance. There should be no allowing a boxer like Mike Tyson. I have no notes. I'm just going off the head. I'm just giving my honest thoughts. There should be no allowing any fight organization should not be allowing a man to get hit in the face, especially with no headgear at this age, this advanced age of 58. Okay, it's not 68, but it's 58. 58 is not the new 40, okay? We've been talking about this for years, you know. 50 is the new 30. Well, I'm sorry, not when you're a professional athlete. I wish Mike Tyson the best. Of course, I'm a fan. I don't want to see something like this ever again. This is really... it makes people look beyond what he actually did and what actually the force he was back in his prime. You get a lot of the new generation, they only see real quick clips of Mike Tyson, and they're really looking at the Jake Paul stuff. They're looking at the recent Roy Jones fight, probably, which was another exhibition type of fight. It's the whole thing about a 58-year-old guy going there against a guy in his 20s. There's no shame, really. If this Jake Paul should really come out, and I don't know, I don't watch too much of him, but I didn't see it in the ring. He should come out and be like, let's be real here. Let's get real. I'm in my 20s. This guy's almost 60. There would be no chance I wouldn't survive 30 seconds with the prime Mike Tyson. This Jake Paul guy, by all accounts, from what I've seen, I've been watching boxing all my life, he's just a B-level weekend fighter. A journeyman, skilled fighter. Believe it when I tell you. Already it's been proven, and he's going to use his name, and they're going to put him in there with UFC has-beens, grandpa has-beens, and or maybe they're going to just milk that train. If Canelo does fight him, Canelo would take him out. Even a 41-year-old Canelo would take him out. It would be like a domination, a one-sided bout. It would be easy domination. He would probably knock him out. The guy is just like a Peter McNeely. If you don't know who Peter McNeely is, Tyson was in prison many, many years ago. I think it was 93. I can't remember, 94 when he got out. Back in the day, he got out, and that was his first fight and his return. Because they didn't know really what Mike Tyson was. He was absent from the ring for a few years. He was locked down in jail. They put him against a bum. Don King, who was a promoter at the time, he's still with us. He's not gone yet. He put this together, and they did a great marketing job. And they put him in there with some guy named Peter McNeely. I believe his nickname was the Hurricane. He was just a bum, just a cab driver type fighter. When I say cab driver, a guy that literally could today drive Uber and get into the ring on the weekends and go to Atlantic City, go on these little boxing shows at a gym somewhere. That's what Jake Paul's status is. But the only thing that makes Jake Paul different is he's very rich and he's very well known. So the name alone, the following, it attracts a lot of attention. Anybody that's super big in today's world, you put him in there with someone that's known, like a Mike Tyson or some type of washed up athlete, if you will, and you'll have an event, especially with a Tyson. So it's pathetic, it's ridiculous, and it's funny. I'm laughing because I knew this all along. You would be hard-pressed 6 months ago to say, oh, the fight's a scam, looking for YouTube titles. I didn't do it, but I don't recall it until I did it. I was talking about it. I was telling you what this fight was. And fortunately, I got a little channel here. It's not overly produced. I'm in my phone yapping. I don't upload regularly, so nobody gives a damn what I got to say. But a lot of it comes true. So there you have it. I hope if you bought the fight that you weren't too mad. But I told you, don't forget it. And I'm out. Take care. We'll talk about something else next time. All good times. I wish Tyson the very best. I'm glad to see he's not hurt badly. And the fight was a joke. I'm out.